Hey there, comic book friends. It's Rob and my buddy Chris, the sir.
I'm good. I can barely hear you, but I just before we begin, I want to give Gary B a shout out. Thank you for filling in for me last week. I appreciate it, my man. But yeah, here we are, back again.
Back again. So can you hear me now? I mean, I
I
don't
can hear
know.
you now. Yeah.
All right, I just switched the audio settings to automatic voice level. So, all right. So I can be heard, Chris can be heard, and let's hear from one other person. That, of course, is our guest. This week, we have with us Justin Birch, comic book letterer, Ringo Award nominated comic book letterer. Somebody actually has something to do with comic books other than just buying them and reading them and stacking them up. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I probably actually buy them and stack them up better than I letter.
Well, somebody felt good you letter well enough to nominate you for an award.
Yeah, I like the way that you look at it. You're building me up. I appreciate that.
I do like to build up the guests. We'll tear you down after the show.
That's fair. Hey, I'm fine with that.
Some of the other people we like to build up. We like to build up our guests. Of course, number one on our list, always, every time, just about our buddy from New Mexico, Liz Crucius. How you doing there, buddy, sir? And of course, Austin LeMay. Oh God, what a guy, artist right there. Man, he and I were just talking before this. He's getting ready to start. I'm coming up soon on the commission list. I'm excited. Very excited. Brian LCS, how you doing? The CBA Awards, man. Hope you keep us in your thoughts, even though you have no decision making whatsoever on it. We still like to pretend like all the power rests in your hands.
Truly.
Especially Chris. Steven C, how you doing? Gary B, last week's co-host, special guest co-host. Thank you, Gary, for your assistance last week, filling in for Chris. Much appreciated, and glad to have you here. We'll be seeing Gary. Oh no, there's no 3-1-1, no 10-1-1 this week, but we'll be on the hot seat next week with Gary B. Jason never could figure it out. Welcome, Two Bros, Nick. Hey, how you getting? Just in time. Justin is the GOAT. Well, he obviously doesn't think he is, or maybe he thinks he is a goat instead of the GOAT. But
I mean, I do resemble a billy goat.
You eat almost anything they put in front of you. It is slabbing time, chop and drop. Very good. Congratulations. Thomas Caps, hello to you too, sir. Let's see. Mad Spidey, you got up early in the morning in Australia just to see you, sir. So there you go. Geek Aficionado. Yes, love the name. Hello to you. Let's see. Blue Hellions Comics is here. And yeah, thank you guys all for coming on out. We are going to do this like we always do. Justin's going to share with us some of the books that make him happy enough to encase them in not carbonite, but whatever plastic, and preserve them for all future, or at least the next 5 to 10 years. And he's going to take us on that journey. He'll tell us some stories. We'll ask some questions. You, the audience, of course, have the opportunity to ask questions about the books you see, or about just grading comic books in general. Or if you have questions even about lettering, by all means, Justin is here. He can answer questions.
I will gladly point you to some great YouTube tutorial videos.
Go back to elementary school and learn how to write.
Yeah, it's true.
I was so funny. It's like, I remember I had a teacher that just as soon as they would teach you how to do cursive, back when we used to kids learned that. And I had a teacher who didn't want to read the kids' cursive, so she made a point of teaching us all calligraphy, and everything had to be done in calligraphy. And after that, I've never really been good at cursive ever again. I can read it no problem. I just can't write it worth a damn. In those formative years, it was taken away from me, and everything was done in calligraphy. But my lettering would be awful, because my lettering goes left, it goes right, it goes all over the place. It's not consistent, which is probably, I'm sure there's I know there's a whole field into analyzing said penmanship, which would say weird things about me.
I'm almost ashamed to admit this, that at this stage in my life, I can no longer read cursive. I can read my name because I have to sign it, but
Right.
I struggle reading the rest of it.
Fair enough. As long as you can
Interesting.
read what you've lettered,
Oh yeah, that's all digital.
that's important because
Well, no, what's important is that everybody else can read.
this is probably even more true. And on that note, folks, don't forget, halfway through the show, we are going to pause. We'll be giving giveaways from the box. We have comics. We have extra comics. We have slabs. We have keychains. We have mugs. There's all kinds of stuff in there that we'll be pulling from the box. And we'll be doing it again at the end of the show. So you want to make sure you're sticking around for all of that. And with that note, let's put Justin into the seat of honor. We shall embiggen him. And we will turn it over to you, sir.
All right. Well, thank you very much. So if the first thing you should know about me, and as far as my collecting habits go, is that I am primarily an X-Men collector. X-Men is my well, it's not even X-Men, but mutants in general are my bread and butter. And so I'm also the worst type of collector. I am the full run collector. So once I start a series, that's it. I'm in it. So I've got it all. So it's an interesting journey, I guess.
So what got you into the X-Men path?
But that's a great question. I was born in the early 80s. But I don't really remember those cartoons from the early 80s. So I don't remember much of Transformers or He-Man or G.I. Joe.
That's not
what I do remember are the cartoons of the early 90s. So your Batman the Animated Adventure, your Spider-Mans, and most importantly to me, X-Men. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you. This is actually a gift from them. BBTS stands for Big Bad Toy Store. If you, as you can see, I'm also an avid toy collector. Most of my stuff comes from the website Big Bad Toy Store. I recommend everyone check it out and waste hours and hundreds of dollars of their time on that site. Hashtag not sponsored. Just putting that out there. When I was about 9 years old, that's when X-Men the animated series came on TV. And I saw it for the first time, and it just blew my mind. Right, where I saw a team of people who each had their own unique individual powers, and for whatever reason, it's something I had never considered before, and it just I cannot understate how much that show has impacted my life. Simply because not only from a collecting standpoint, but I was a collector before I was a creator. And so I was having bad days at work, and I decided I wanted to make comics as a living because that's what I loved. I loved comics. So where did that love come? It came from that show. So with all of that being said, the first book I'm going to show, it's not the biggest book, but it's definitely by far the most important book to me personally. And that is this one right here. X-Men Adventures #1.
Nice.
So this was the first comic I ever bought. Now this isn't that original copy.
Right.
But I felt like it was important to me as a collector, as an X-Men fan, that I owned this book in a 9.8.
Yeah.
So I did. I unfortunately I waited until there was an announcement at the D23 or whatever expo they did. So I probably paid a little bit more than I should have, but that's okay. I cannot explain how happy I was when I got this book.
At least you didn't have to get yours from a $777 mystery box, like some people I know.
Too soon.
That is
shots fired.
Actually, there were at least two people who got that X-Men Adventures slab out of I think Alan May also got one out of the $777 mystery box.
Was it at least a 9.8?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, at least bright side,
I hope
right?
so. I hope
Yeah.
so. How's that?
Now, Justin, with that comic, have you tried to find like the other variant of it? I believe you're holding the direct edition, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Have you tried to go and get the UPC copy for yourself, or are you good with just that one?
It's not something I've actively sought out.
Okay.
If I were to come across it in the wild in a 9.8, I would,
Yeah.
depending on price, obviously, I would,
Yeah.
of course, be interested in it. But it's not something that's at the top of my want list.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So, most important book to me. I am a full run collector, as I stated. I do have a full run of Uncanny X-Men. All 544 issues, giant size, king size, annuals, all of it. I have all of it. So I figure we should just get it out of the way now and just show off X-Men #1, and we could just be done with it.
Sure.
Okay.
Wow. This could
There
be
we
the
go.
big.
He didn't say which X-Men #1.
Oh.
X-Men #1.
I was just going to literally say this could be the biggest book that we've ever had this early, but it is indeed X-Men #1.
X-Men #1.
Yeah, he didn't say uncanny.
See,
Come on,
this
Chris.
is the wool going over my eyes, but okay, yeah.
But so, do you have the whole all the covers for that, or just that cover?
I'll check. I'll check. No, here's one. Yeah.
Nice. The connecting covers.
Well, you can't. You got to have that
Yep.
one to go with it.
Yep.
And of course the
Yep.
yeah.
One
more.
Yep.
right.
The green one.
The green
Yeah,
one.
Yep.
there it is. That's the
very
one
good.
I got when it
Excellent.
was released. Yeah. I you know what's cool about what you just showed there, Justin? Obviously, you showed the complete set, but that could be the first time on SlabHub all those covers were shown in a blue label. Somewhere along the line, there's always that yellow label where Jim Lee has tagged it. But yeah, all right.
For whatever reason, that '90s series is the most important series to me. I guess just because of my age and where I grew up in sort of Jim Lee's art style.
Yeah.
So I was going somewhere with that, and I totally just lost track what I was gonna. Anyway,
Completionist.
Whatever. Yeah.
Completionist.
Yeah, complete. There we go. What's interesting is one of those 9.8s is not white pages, and I did not know that you could get a 9.8 non-white pages.
You shouldn't be able to. You would think.
Yeah, it's weird.
It should be literally. It's like no 9.6 should be the cap of what you can get with a white to off white pages.
Yeah.
If not even lower potentially, but that's
an interesting
CGC.
caveat.
What are you gonna do? I mean, I guess I assume you can't get a 9.9 or a 10 with off white pages. I should hope not.
That's the $1 million question right there, right?
Those covers are fun, and it's a great connecting set. And really, I don't think a lot of people. I think people have seen one or two of the covers, or they've seen them all, but seeing them connected, it actually is a pretty nice layout. And it's there's a reason why it's one of the biggest selling, if not the biggest selling book of all time, right? I mean, it hit a note with a lot of people, and it wasn't just a product of its time. I even gave away one of my recent. There was a set of mystery boxes not long ago where that was like one of the prizes, and there was a complete set of all those books in high grade as a group. So yeah.
This next part, I apologize. I have not gone back and watched all 47 previous episodes of Slab Hub.
This is not all 47 aren't worth watching. The first season 1 where it's just me and just Chris, not as interesting.
Well, the second half is, but yeah.
When Chris does his episode of nothing but pulling out nothing but OA art, yes, that episode is very, very worth watching.
So I'm hoping that what I'm about to do is going to be the first time that has ever happened in Slab Hub history. So if it hasn't, or if it's already been done, please lie to me and tell me I'm the first. Okay.
All right.
Okay. I'm going to do the lightning.
I'm canceling you.
Have we had a lightning round before?
Well, it depends on what you call lightning round. I mean, we've had some people do like recently. Andy did a bunch in sequence because he was trying to get through 60 books in 30 books time.
No, I'm going to say I'm different. I'm going to say this is
Okay.
different. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Lightning round. Ready? Okay.
Yeah.
We X-Men number 2.
Love it.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to pull out a storm. That would have been funny.
What comes after number 2? Number 3.
Nice.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
Number 4.
Never heard of this book.
Never seen it
blown
before.
up as of recently. Nothing but on all kinds of speculation of Omega Red. But
Never seen that book ever on this show before.
number 5.
Number 5.
The better cover of the two. Yes.
100%. Absolutely.
Mhm.
You can't have number 5 without number 6.
Nice.
Ooh. Love me some Psylocke.
Number 7.
Another great cover.
Yeah.
I like that cover is being homage now. That's very nice.
Number 8.
Oh, yes.
Of course, 7, 8, 9. So we got to show number 9.
That's right.
Number 10.
Was that long shot on the cover?
That is long shot on the cover.
Love it. All right. I don't think I've ever seen Jim Lee do long shot before.
And number 11. So all 11 of the Jim Lee X-Men, the covers that he did in 9.8.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Of course, there's one book that I'm missing from this. And it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. So,
But that one's got Jim Lee's signature on it, so you know.
Well, you're familiar with what this is, correct?
Second
I'm not
printing?
an X-Men guy, so I'm not
Okay.
the guy.
So this is the Pressman variant. It was only available in the X-Men board game. So in the board game, you would either get a comic or a voucher to mail away and get the comic.
Oh, okay.
So these they're pretty limited. And the reason why it breaks my heart is because, oh man. So I found this. I was at a convention, and a guy had a copy on his wall, raw. And I said, "Oh wow, I've never seen one in person. Do you have any others? Because there are 4 total different covers." And he said, "I don't have any more raw. All I have is this graded one." And he pulls it out and he hands it to me. And the grade was a 9.8. And I said, "Oh my gosh, that's perfect. I'll take it." With my intent being that I was going to take that book and send it to CGC for the Jim Lee signing.
Oh, no.
And when it came back, it was no longer a 9.8. It was
wow. It dropped from a 9.8 to a 9.4. Did you have it pressed while it was there, or did you just have them sign and re-slab?
No, I did not have them pressed. Or did not have them press it. It was just signed. I cannot find anything wrong with this.
Right, because there's no notes. There never is.
Actually, there were notes on it.
Oh.
And it indicated some small indentations, which you're not going to be able to see at all because
Right.
I had to, physically get super close. So there's just some stuff right up here, just like a quick press would take it out.
Right, exactly.
I just don't know if that's something I really want to do. Like, I feel
that's
like
one of those things that what you do is when there's an opportunity for somebody else that's on that book to have a signing, that you send it in and you have it done and have them press it at the same time, and you hope that it goes up. I mean, the likelihood it's going to go down. Well, I've had books play the seesaw game at CGC before, so. But that's what I would do if it was me. I'd just wait for another signing opportunity, send it in, have another signature done, have them press it, come back, and hope for the grade bump back up.
Yeah, Justin, is that a Claremont story?
It is not.
No.
Claremont left X-Men and Marvel after issue 3 of this series, I believe. I think there was some butting of heads between him and Jim Lee about the story that they were trying to tell. So a couple years ago, I say a couple, it may have been 10 years ago. there was an X-Men series that came out called X-Men Forever, which was how Chris Claremont intended for the story to be told after those first 3 issues. I think, man, it's been a while since I've read it. I can't remember if his original intent was for Magneto to die or for Wolverine to die. Someone was supposed to die, someone big. And for whatever, I mean, well, obviously they're not going to allow Magneto or Wolverine to die, but
For long.
Yeah. So he actually left the series over that. So I think Jim Lee was plotting it at this point. I'd have to look up the official credits to see who the official writer is.
It doesn't say on the cover there.
No, all it says is Scott Lobdell story, Jim Lee cover and art.
Okay.
I'd love it if Chris Claremont worked on it. I would totally. It's easier for him to get a signature than anything else, right?
Right. Yeah. So some of them are regulars at the signing table.
Right.
Some of them, others not so much.
Yeah. So So I love that book. I'm so excited that I found it when I bought it, especially at the price I bought it at, and then to have it come back a 9.4, it destroyed me. It crushed me.
You know, what you really got to do is you got to make that book really complete. Is you got to get the letterer to sign that book. That's what matters.
I should.
Yeah. Hook a brother up. Come on. It's not complete until it's
Kyle.
done right.
So,
sign it illegibly.
I'm not going to lie. I seriously underestimate how quickly I would go through that run of books.
Well, when you just go plop, 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 yeah, you can go back and tell us about any number 1s in there. Yeah, I don't know, or first appearances other than Omega Red in that first 11 run. I'm serious when I say I'm not an X-Men guy. I know it drives people crazy sometimes. They can't believe it. I mean, I know Wolverine because I did read Wolverine run, at least the first 100 issues back in the day. But my wife is the X-Men person, not me. I really try, but they never really.
So the other first appearance during this run is issue number 8. It's the first appearance of Belladonna, which is Gambit's wife. Yeah, like that's it.
Obviously, she's no longer in the picture since her and Rogue are always.
Yeah, I think she met an untimely.
Or him and Rogue.
Let's see here. So the story starts in this one. It goes to Ghost Rider 26, I think. Yeah, 26, and then back to X-Men, and then back to Ghost Rider. She kicks the bucket in part 3 of the story, or the very next issue of X-Men. Sorry, spoiler alert.
That's all right.
It's
comics. People die, they come back. You know, you don't know.
My bad, everyone. Sorry. So the other thing that you should know about me, in addition to being an X-Men fan, is that I'm a sucker for 90s gimmicks.
Foil time.
So
foil it up. Foil it up.
The foil age. Here we go.
So I have to admit this first one was an impulse buy when I first purchased it, but I regret nothing now. X Factor 92 with that great card,
the holograms.
Yeah,
that actually has some value, doesn't it, Rob?
There's depending upon
there it is right there,
whether it's the brown, there's like the green and the brown holograms, and for some reason there's like one's more desirable than the other. I don't remember which, but the big one of the lot is like the Wolverine getting his adamantium ripped out. Is
this one?
Yeah, exactly. I can't remember. I know I have mine. I have one that's signed by somebody, but I can't remember who it's signed by.
Yeah. So there you go. That one. So this was that was a 6-part story called Fatal Attractions. A whole bunch of just craziness happens. And
Oh yeah,
like, Wolverine almost dies because Magneto's like, "Hey, you're made of metal. I forgot all these years," and just
exactly.
You literally just took the words right out of my mouth. Like,
Well, you always just assumed that
decades
maybe it
and
was a
decades.
non-magnetic metal, but no. Oh, forget you. I've
yeah.
been nice
So
all this time.
so Wolverine, or I'm sorry, Magneto does that to Wolverine. Professor X is like, "Whoa, that's my friend," and then just like mentally wipes
His
Magneto's
brain.
brain
Yeah.
away. So I said it was a 6-part story. So here we go.
Oh, Excalibur.
Yeah, Nightcrawler, are you going to show up there? No, I don't think so. No.
Bamf. He's gone. There it is a little bit. Yep.
Okay. So I got one more, and then that's kind of like the halfway point for me.
Okay.
Okay.
I just remember which was that issue. Damn it.
So the last one is right here, Uncanny X-Men 304, Magneto on the cover. I'm currently trying to track down the 2 missing issues that I need. There's only one. So that's X-Force 25. There's only one on eBay, and I refuse to pay the price that someone is asking for it because it's just so grossly overpriced. So I'm just like, no, I'll wait. I go to enough conventions that eventually I'll find them. And then the other one is X-Men 25, which I think is the Wolverine hologram cover, or is it Gambit? I don't remember off the top of my head. So I'm watching a few auctions on that all the time.
X-Men 25?
Yes, X-Men 25.
Oh. I think I can talk to you after the show. I think I have an extra one.
Yeah. All right. So X-Men 25 is also the one where there's multiple versions of it. So there's the standard cover, and then there's the gold cover,
Yeah.
and then the sketch cover.
Right.
I have the gold cover, but it's not graded yet. It's in my 2 send off list. So hopefully someday I'll be back to show off that when it is graded.
Yeah, X-Men 25 is the one. I was thinking it's got the hologram. One hologram's green, one's brown, one's gold, whatever. Yeah, it's got the hologram is on it is Gambit, but that's it. But it is the issue that Magneto removes the adamantium from Wolverine, according to the keynote on it.
Yeah, I've got plenty of raw copies. I want a 9.8, so I don't want to chance like sending in my own stuff.
Right.
Rather just buy it 9.8 already and call it a day.
Yeah, I got a 9.8 that's signed by Andy Kubert.
We should talk after the show. Yeah, one of the things that I've had a lot of fun putting together that Jim Lee X-Men run, that 1 through 11, since those were his only issues that he did, and it has me seriously considering trying to go out and find more 9.8s of that series, just because it seems weird and kind of dumb and stupid and not something a lot of people do. So I feel like that's what I want, right? Like I want to get that stuff that not a lot of people are doing to make my collection a little bit more unique.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
As long as they're on the census, yeah, man, give her.
All right, so we said we're at the halfway point already, right?
Yeah, lightning round killed me.
So yeah, well that's all right. Well, let's then go ahead and take this opportunity. I'm going to bring in our tool here, and let's go ahead and add this to the stream. And everybody, hashtag letters matter. Go ahead and throw that up in there for us, and we'll get you. That'll get you into the entry here for our first giveaway. While we're doing that, Chris, what's coming up for you this week?
Well, I just dropped my 700 subscriber prize announcement, and for everyone to head over there and follow the finer details of that video to find out how you can win one of my 3 grand prizes I'm going to be giving away once I roll over 700 subscribers. tomorrow, Mark and myself from Legion of Comics will be dropping 2 cool guys swap picks again. This Wednesday is going to be a big new comic book day. I don't know if it's going to be quite as big as last Wednesday, but it's going to be a big one. Monday, I am going to be opening a Comics Kingdom mystery box where the grand prize is the first appearance of Miles Morales in a 9.0. So fingers crossed.
Nice.
That I hit that. Either way, you if you don't get a 9.0, you're guaranteed a 9.8 slab. So it should be interesting regardless what's in that box. But yeah, and Wednesday, New Comic Book Day Hangout, and Thursday I'll be having some more Walmart pack openings.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Justin, you got anything coming up this week that you're working on? Any appearances or anything?
Yeah, so tonight on Two Brothers Comics is our weekly sporadic Babylon. So about 9:30 we'll go live, and I think tonight we usually do a top 10 list. Tonight our top 10 is going to be our top 10 favorite Neil Adams covers.
Oh, well, timely.
So I'm going to try and make it my goal to make Dustin mad by not picking any Batman covers.
I was going to say that would be the challenge, right? Is you got to do top 10 Neil Adams, no Batman allowed covers.
May I suggest anything with Sauron on the cover, please?
Oh, number, what is that, 60?
60, 67? Like, I know it's in the 60s, but yes. Anything with that hypnotic, beautiful work that Neil Adams did with X-Men. Yes.
I will tell you right now, the X-Men 58, 59, the Havoc cover is definitely
yes,
definitely going to be on my list.
All right, so we got 32 watchers, 25 entered. Taylor's petitioning for you to come on unboxing match with him at some point in the future. So if you're interested, reach out to him. If you guys don't know, unboxing match is a fun show. Taylor matches up with a member of the community. They exchange mystery boxes with one another, tailored to the other person. And throughout the process, Taylor does a phenomenal job interviewing the community member. At the same time, they get to learn a little bit about each other's comic book kink. Let's go ahead and spin this while we're at it here, and let's draw. Our winner is our first winner.
Boom.
Ooh.
M. Adraszewski. I hope I pronounced that right.
Better than I was going to get, I'm sure. So,
yes.
New winner, first time winner, you're going to have to make sure that you reach out to me on either Instagram at robs.fatstax or via email at robs.fatstax@gmail.com. And let's go ahead and pull your books. Let's see. I make myself big because that's how we're supposed to do it. And Justin, you get to pull books. So, what's the first? You want to count a number from the front, number from the back, or we give it some back to front action?
All right, so we'll save that for later.
Yeah.
Let's go with in honor of one of my daughters. We'll go with number 23, which is her birthday. 23 from the front. Sorry.
I'm gonna start limiting how many numbers were how high.
We're telling you that now.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. First book up is from Shattered Heroes Run, The Incredible Hulk. Looking particularly swole.
Oh, I think they made an action figure based off of that.
Congratulations. First book up.
Kind of looks like Keelan's work.
All right. Next book.
So, I promise this is the last time I'm going to do this. Last time, I promise.
42.
Of my other daughter's birthday, 31 from the back.
31?
Yeah, she was born on January 31st.
Oh, I was going to say, there's no way your daughter's 31 if you were born in the 80s. Well, I mean, there is, but I mean... 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18.
Yeah, I was the smart one who decided to have 2 children under 30.
24, 26, 28, 30, 31. Guardians of the Galaxy, issue
Nice.
number 7. Is that Groot? Groot's driving,
That's a fun cover, though.
and it looks like there's a freaking pinata. Huh. That's an interesting cover. All right, now what we got here, Justin?
All right, so I got 4 more.
Correct,
Let's
at
go,
least.
just do the finger flip from the front. That's fine.
Oh.
Just do what you're doing. Do what you're doing, and give it an old stop.
In front or behind my finger?
Let's go with in front.
It is a multi-pack. You get
There it is.
a set of Bill and Ted's Most Triumphant Return. Congratulations. This is a 4 or 5 book run. Do I recall? It was 6 book run. Congratulations. Complete set, 6 book run. Bill and Ted's Most Triumphant Return. Awesome.
All right, let's do the same thing again. And stop. Oh, that was like the same spot as it was before. Okay, that's fine.
No, it's actually about 20 books behind. Front or behind my finger?
Behind your finger this time.
Patow. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Turtles in a Half Show.
Who is Lady Shredder?
That is a good question.
That's nice.
All right. So that's 4. 2 more.
All right. Can you start from the front this time? Yeah, there you go. And stop.
Okay. And
Let's do in front of and behind the finger.
all right. So those are our 2. All right. So we have X Factor number 9. Get ourselves some mutants.
Was that Dazzler on stage?
Potentially.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
And my God, cleaning up on the books here. Another multi-book pack you get from Mark Miller and John Romita Jr. Kick-Ass 2, issue 1 and issue 2.
Wow.
Congratulations.
I almost want to question why those are in that box, but okay. Rob's a kind of human being.
Because I'm awesome. All right, let's put that there. And let me label these. So again, make sure you reach out to me. Congratulations on your books. And we will get those on out to you along with your exclusive Slab Hub magnet. Only available to the winners on Slab Hub. All right, let us go ahead and put Justin back up in the spot of honor. And Justin, go ahead and take us away on more of your journey.
So, did I say at the beginning this is just going to be an X-Men based show? Because it totally is. All I'm showing is
You
X-Men.
more or less alluded to that, yes.
Yeah. So I apologize in advance. Sorry, John. Next week's guest. Sorry.
John's Comics with Kids is next week on Slab Hub. So yeah, if John is planning on bringing a bunch of X-Men, I guess he'll have to. Well, he could still.
John's into the Phoenix Saga, if I'm right. But yes, okay.
All right. So my favorite X-Men character, like my love from X-Men started with the animated show in the early '90s. Of course, my favorite X-Men it's going to be Gambit. Sorry. So had to get Gambit number 1. This is the normal cover. I do have that nice gold foil cover, but it's not graded. It's also in the to be sent away pile.
Right.
But those are going to look good together when it does come back. I've got another raw copy that I think is high grade. I'm saving it for Baltimore Comic-Con because I'm going to try and get it triple signed. Because let me think, who worked on that? Howard Mackey, Klaus Janson. There's another person. I cannot remember who the third person is. It is always at Baltimore, and it's going to drive me crazy.
Well, a funny
Pull that
story
back
about
up for a second.
that
Justin.
Gambit book, is that I actually was purchasing some books from a online IG live sale guy that I normally do business with, and he was throwing one of those in and I told him I didn't want it, and we ended up going back and forth, and he kept until he finally forced me to take it, and then I destroyed it for him.
Justin, what's the
I don't care.
what's the date on that book?
So the date is December of 1993.
Okay, so late 1993 is when they decided that the trade dress was more important than the original artwork or showing the character on the cover. What do we learn from this?
But
that it doesn't work unless it's Gambit, Rogue, or Deadpool.
We learned that letters matter.
You're missing the key point on this cover, and that's all of that sweet foil.
The foil age rears its head.
Yes.
Hey, lettering up front, buddy. Where it should be, right, Justin?
That's right.
Lettering should always be the focus. Get you and you fancy rock star artists and your.
No, I take that back. I'm going to backtrack 100% on that. I don't know. Do not pay any attention to me. Just stare at the art. Look at the pretty pictures. Don't. So, full disclosure, I was trying my hardest to figure out like a way to just sort of Tyler this a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And I thought it would be really funny and really interesting if what I did was I come on and I say, I love X-Men. I've got a full X-Men run, and then just not show any like huge major X-Men keys and just show as much like 90s gimmicky books as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Marauders books or
yeah, like, and then, like try and get as many like die cut cover books and just
but we're into that though.
But I decided not to do that.
Okay.
So
yeah, the part of the story that's kind of missing from this for the audience is follows. So Justin was recommended to the show by Tyler shortly after the infamous Pokemon episode. And so Justin got quite the interview ahead of time to make sure that he understood that it was comic book slabs and he had to say the word comic books.
Wow.
I think was I one of the first to get the questionnaire?
Yeah.
So the screening process, is it harder to get on SlabHub or get a green card to enter the United States? We will see.
So
there's less invasive body cavity search, but
what's funny, and you brought this up multiple times, is you asked me multiple times if I understood, but you never asked me if I agreed to it.
Oh, no.
Right? So like, don't worry, I'm only showing off comics. I'm only showing there, like I just kept that inside. I didn't want to be like, hey, you should asterisk here. So
we did call it the Tyler rule.
Yes, the Tyler rule. There you go.
And oddly enough, I think Justin said that's not the first time there's been a rule attributed to Tyler.
I like that Tyler is now being referred to as a verb. But anyways, let's go.
My plan was to try and do that. I decided not to go that route. So this is the point where I'm going to start showing off Uncanny X-Men books, and a majority of them are keys. So if you're not into that, sorry, I guess. I don't know. So Gambit is my favorite character. So of course I've got to have the 266.
Very nice.
This is actually my second copy. My first copy is currently at CGC being graded. I'm very hopeful that it comes back a 9.8. I feel like it's important to me to have this book in a 9.8.
That's a book that's.
So, do you consider that his first appearance, or do you consider the Arthur Adams artwork cover of the X-Men Annual to be the first appearance?
So, It's such a hard. Yes. Long story short, yes. To me, this is his first appearance. I know Annual 14 came out first on the shelf, but that was because it was an annual, and annuals were meant to sell all summer long. And chronologically, the story takes place before that. So it's a slippery slope, I know, but until they tell me otherwise, this is the first appearance.
First chronological appearance. That's why I posted mine yesterday on First Appearance Friday on Instagram, and I very clearly called it out as the first cover appearance and attributed by CGC as first appearance, full appearance. So in order to say, look, I'm not going to get into this argument of what it is or what it isn't, but here's what it is. No one's going to argue that it's the first cover appearance, and whether or not it's and nobody can argue that CGC attributes it as the first full appearance. Whether or not you believe that that's the end all be all to anything, that's just a fact.
And you know what? The smart thing to do is to just buy both of them, right?
Right. Well, and so I'm assuming that's next to pull up.
Oh no, I have a copy. It's not graded yet. Sorry.
Oh,
Okay.
That would have been the perfect segue, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't have mine handy. Mine's in the garage.
Missed
I
opportunity.
just got one back the other day. It came back or not long ago. Oh wait, I can't talk about that. The video hasn't aired yet, so
the last one you did, I was feeling for you as you were
the Avengers annual.
Yes, I was. Yeah, I was.
Why does this sound weird? Oh,
you had me there. I was on. Man, that was rough.
You know what's funny is I had two of those, right? And the one that's got the higher grade looks worse for wear than the lower grade of the two. But damn, yeah, that was the first. I've seen a lot of things with slabs. I've never had one that just wasn't sealed.
I almost want you to resubmit it and see if it comes back same grade.
I just reached out to them and had them. They to the fact CGC, they responded to the email within 2 business days. They provided me a return shipping label for actually overnight shipping back to them, which surprised the hell out of me. I would have figured ground. And it's the next day after it got delivered, they sent me acknowledgement that it's been received. Now, the question is, how long does it take for them to reslab it and get it back out to me? It was there for a year, the first go round. So we'll see how long it takes for them to complete just like a reholder.
So I mentioned it earlier when we were doing random pulls. I've got 2 daughters. Both of them are named after comic book characters. We're not going to talk about the oldest one because her name is not based off of an X-Men character. Hopefully I can come back. I can come back in a future episode and show off Spider-Man books, and then we can talk about her.
Okay.
Oh.
I mean, her name is Gwen. For anybody.
Okay.
I wasn't going to go down the speculation route. We thought we'd leave that for another episode, but
right.
There you go. You just ruined it.
I thought you were going to say like Aurora. I'm like, wow, that's hardcore. But okay.
Her name is COVID.
Her name is Storm. Thank you.
Corona. Corona was what it was, right?
Well, my youngest daughter, who she's very young, she's only 1, was named after a specific X-Men character, one of my favorite characters. Again, I apologize to John. You can probably guess what book it is now. It's X-Men 129. First appearance of Kitty Pryde. She is named Kate or Catherine after Kitty Pryde.
Very nice.
It's a big book.
I will someday hope to upgrade this. I think I bought this at least 10 years ago for a good solid $50. So like I think it'd be a nice time to upgrade to honor her, I guess. Or at least that's what I'm going to tell my wife.
I got a lot of respect for Kitty Pryde. The first Wolverine miniseries I ever read was actually Wolverine and Kitty Pryde, and that I actually bought monthly, or my parents bought for me monthly. So I have a lot of respect for the character. That's very cool, man.
Blue
Yeah,
Hellions. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Finish your story.
I very much stare at 98 copies of issue number 1 all of the time. I for whatever reason, I just can't pull the trigger, at least not yet. I will at some point, probably, when it's too late and there's going to be a movie that's just Wolverine and Kitty Pryde. That's the point where I'll be like, I gotta buy now.
Yeah, it was a good series.
Blue Hellion, yeah, you send back the whole kit and caboodle. Now they'll probably regrade it in reality because the label, for those of you who haven't seen it, slab was open, didn't seal. Their label is not sealed with the book. It's a loose label. So there's no way to know that book that I sent back to them in the inner well really belongs to that label or anything else. So in reality, if they do it right, they need to regrade that book before they return it to me. They shouldn't just seal the slab and send it back. That would not be the correct way to do it because there's no proof, unlike some other companies that actually seal the label in with the book. But
this next book just came back from CGC. I just got it on Thursday. So I'm really excited to show it off. Really happy with it, especially the price that I paid for it. X-Men 101 with that Chris Claremont signature on it.
Nice. Yeah.
And
I really like when he signs over the trade dress there. Looks good.
I was trying to think of a good book, a good X-Men book to have him sign. And I figured this is one that I wanted to get graded at some point anyway. It was probably going to be quicker to have him sign it and have them grade it instead of doing a normal submission. So that was my thought process. I only paid $50 for this too, so I'm really excited.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was always fascinated by that cover. Like, does Cyclops realize he's taking in half that ocean there? Like, that's like, dude, that's salt water. Anyways,
Cyclops is such a dedicated team leader that is his way of trying to save the X-Men is by drinking the ocean.
There you go.
Yeah. All right.
Other things I could have said, but
I'm just glad Wolverine didn't sink to the bottom. But anyways.
Well, we established that later on that
it's tough for him to tread water.
Yes.
But fortunately he wouldn't die.
No. He's walk along the bottom.
So this next one is, to me, it is the biggest key in my collection, and that's saying something, right? With the other books that you're going to see here in a little bit, this to me, when I first started collecting, was my first Holy Grail. This was my first Grail book.
Ooh.
It's something that I didn't think as a kid I would ever be able to get. But then one day I walked into one of the local shops here where I live, and they had it. And I said, I went in initially to buy that X-Men 101. And then I saw this and I said, hey, do you offer a layaway? And they said, we don't normally, but maybe we can talk about it and work something out. And I said, perfect. That's awesome. And that book is Giant Size X-Men number 1. I mean, like the Nightcrawler is also in my top 10. So to have his first appearance along with Colossus and Storm, it's
Thunderbird.
To me, this is a bigger book than X-Men number 1.
Yeah, I'm thinking that might be only the second time we've seen that book, Chris, on this show.
My gut is saying this is the third time, but yeah, it might be the second time. My only request is for the people hanging out in the chat, Justin, can you read what's on the back of the label there so they have an idea how special that book is to the Marvel Universe?
So this is the first appearance of the new X-Men, Storm, Nightcrawler, Colossus, and Thunderbird. Second full appearance of Wolverine.
Yeah.
The only book I have a custom label for, I figured if you're going to get a custom label, it has to be for the matching cover.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
The craziest thing about this book is that when I bought it, which was roughly about I think 2015-ish. I only paid $400 for it.
Yeah.
So I did well.
If you wanna make a quick 50 on your investment there, we'll talk backstage.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 90-day average on that book is just over $3,000 at that
It-
grade.
And to me, obviously I'm biased, right?
Right.
It's only going to go up, in my opinion.
No,
So.
actually, I didn't realize how you see it a lot, but I didn't really even put two and two together because I'm not a X-Men guy. I didn't realize that book was from 1974.
Yes. Yep. Cockrum did it, I believe, or
Yes.
was the arts? Yeah. Okay.
So I actually had to do like a homage cover or an homage cover to this. So I actually had to like have this pulled up, like a picture of this pulled up on the side of the screen, and I was tracing over the letters to make it as close and as accurate as possible. It's the Steranko logo is definitely better as far as like the trade dress goes, but I mean the Deadly Genesis part down there, like to me that's top notch. I don't care for this logo.
Fair enough.
All right, we're gonna have a significant issue jump here from Giant Size X-Men #1 to this one. It is X-Men #50 with that great Steranko cover.
Yeah.
And this is not Polaris's first appearance, which is crazy. Everyone thinks it is just because of the cover.
Can you read us?
First cover?
Can you read us the
appearance?
details then?
Sure.
On that particular one.
Second appearance of Polaris, Mesmero appearance, Origin of the Beast.
Okay.
She actually, her first appearance is in the issue prior, issue number 49.
So this is her first cover appearance, or is she on the cover of the other one?
She is not on the cover of 49. 49 is the original 5 team in their new costumes, sort of running across. I don't know who the character is. That character's head.
Okay.
So yeah, okay, cool.
So this is the X-Men logo that I like.
Yeah, very
Yeah, it's timeless.
Yeah, so Jim Steranko actually created this logo, and the story that I've heard is that he hates it because he made it, for the sole intention of it being used for like 1 issue or 2, and Marvel was like, well, hot damn, that is gorgeous. We're going to use it forever. So
Wow.
it makes sense why he signs his name directly over the logo every time he signs it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I was on vacation with my family at the beach, and there was a comic shop, and I walked in. I already had a copy of this raw, but I saw that on their wall, and I just went, okay, why not? Right? It's graded. Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Steranko, and I'll say it again, is the best damn dressed man in comic books.
I've heard that in his contract for appearances, there's a stipulation that states he has to have a radio of some kind playing soft jazz at his booth.
Wow.
So
That might be like Momoa always having Metallica played at his booth, but yeah.
there you go. Maybe he got the idea from Steranko.
He possibly could have.
Next up, we've got X-Men #14.
Oh,
This is
yes.
the appearance of the Sentinels. I love this cover just because of how bright that red is.
The reds that they used back then, but there's something about just that. I don't know. It just the X shape that he makes with his body there.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I love this book. I
totally dig that jazzercise that Sentinel's doing. Like, give her.
Speared fingers. So. All right. Next up, not this book. So I think this book is also going to blow up at some point pretty soon. X-Men #6. I'm glad I got that. I'm glad
I'm a big fan of the classic look of Namor, the Golden Age look, which they carried. Even though this is a Silver Age book, they got more of that Golden Age look than you get from the Silver Age stuff.
I got a message from Jason Southern Comic Geek, who on his travels was said, "Hey, I'm at this shop. I know you're trying to put together your X-Men run. I know you're close. They've got a oh no, sorry, that was the story with the 14. He actually found that 14 and said, I was thinking about keeping it for myself and selling you my copy, but I decided to give you that copy or sell that copy to you because it's the higher grade." And I went, "Well, thank you, I appreciate it." When Jason was trying to sell his X-Men collection off to fund his Incredible Hulk run, I immediately contacted him within like seconds of his post and was like, "Come on, you knew I was going to do this, right?" And I already had a 6, but I think it was incomplete. I think it was missing the pinup in the back, or it was in really rough shape. I don't remember for sure. So I jumped on the opportunity to upgrade and get a really nice, solid looking copy.
Yeah.
I mean, this book is from 1964. There's nothing wrong with a 5.0 from 1964.
No,
absolutely
no,
not.
there's not.
Especially one that's got the first mutant.
There you go. The first mutant.
Not chronologically, though, people. Yes, I understand Apocalypse was the first mutant, but
So I don't own many CBCS books. And there's not. I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm just saying, personal choice. But I do own one, and it is an important one. X-Men #5.
nice.
So this is the second appearance of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, including Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. Like the third appearance of Magneto. I should just read the notes, right? Yeah, third appearance of Magneto, second appearance of Scarlet Witch, Toad, Quicksilver, and Mastodon.
That looks like a little bit older case too.
This is one of, so it got to the point last year that, I finished my full X-Men run 1 to 544 in the early part of 2021. I got to the point where I was only missing 3 books, and this was one of them. So again, came from Southern Comic Geek. I think he probably gave me too nice of a price because he knew what I was trying to do. So I'm always going to be grateful for that.
Nice.
And of course, you can't have the second appearance without the first appearance.
Oh,
yes.
boy. Arguably the biggest book of last year.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I bought it right at the end of
WandaVision? So your timing was terrible.
So, okay, all things considered, right? All things considered, I did well on my giant size X-Men. I did really well on a book that I'm going to show you here in a little bit.
Yeah.
If this is the only book that I think I overpaid on, and I don't feel like I overpaid a lot, I'll take that as a win.
Yeah. So you sometimes that's the way the market goes, and at the end of the day, it's a book you knew you wanted. You were fine paying the price that you paid for it. It's not like you're turning around trying to flip it and sell it. So it's a win.
No, and the whole reason to me why that book it has exploded is because they actually kind of did that character well when it comes to the big screen. And then with WandaVision, I guess we'll find out in a week or so about the Multiverse of Madness. But yeah, it's more than just her first appearance though. But that's now a holy grail that you have in your hand, man. Good for you.
And I bought it off of eBay, and I purposely waited until there was a 5% eBay bucks offer going on. So I was able to max out that amount back that I got.
Nice.
And I used that full $100 because that's what it maxed out at to pick up. I put it towards Spider-Man Noir #1.
Oh, nice.
So I got it cheaper than what it was going for. So I'm not going to complain about the price if I overpaid a little bit compared to what I paid for it then, worth compared to what it's going for now. So I still think I'm ahead in the long run.
Yeah, which if you're interested, the 90-day average on it is at 1850, essentially at that grade.
Okay. Yeah, so I overpaid slightly, but this looks really good for a 3.5.
Yeah.
Right.
No, and it's trending back up again a little bit.
Yeah,
So.
give it a week, and then we'll see what happens. Right.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because the last there was an April sale of this year, so this month at 25. So
Okay. So yeah, it might be a
Uh,
roller coaster for a little bit of time.
So next up, we've got this is. I need to do something about this, but it's X-Men #2 in a PGX. At some point, I might try to fix that, but I'm perfectly content for it being in here.
it's protected and it's preserved. That's at the end of the day, you're not trying to
Not
flip it, sell it.
yet.
Who cares?
Yep. So X-Men #2. This was one of the 2 remaining books that I needed from Jason. So I bought from him the 2, the 5, and the extra 6.
Before Justin, before we carry on, can you read the notes on that book then?
Let's see here. First appearance of Vanisher.
Right. I already knew that, so I was just like let's go.
It was a really cool character in Uncanny X-Force, the Rick Remender run. So everyone should go read that.
This is it.
Interestingly enough, actually, just as a side note, only because it came up there, in May, I think it's 17th, the third Tuesday of the month, Sidekicks Talk Comics will be having Rob Pillsbury, the head grader and president of PGX East, formerly grader at CGC. He's going to be coming on the show, and we'll be doing an interview with him, talking about grading comic books, things that people should know, potentially miss, and hopefully digging a little bit to the difference, since he's worked for both CGC and PGX, some of the difference between what makes up their grading scale.
Interesting. Yeah, I think that would be anytime you can get information from anyone who's an expert in their field, I think is important to have. Right?
Yeah.
All right. So it's my last book.
Get ready.
Okay,
all right.
you got it ready? You got it ready? All right.
I mean, come on. You knew what it was going to be, right?
Let's roll.
Well, we can sense a pattern.
Yeah.
You could throw us for a loop here. It could be the 2022 X-Men #1.
It could be the first Alpha Flight.
Damn it. These are all things I should have thought of and prepared.
It could be, even better yet, it could be X-Men 2099 #1.
Come on, Ryan. Come on.
Well, now that the surprise has been ruined, I'll show you the 2099. No, it's X-Men #1.
Yeah! Yeah!
You know, I just noticed he's wearing an X-Men
shirt. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
That's
better than a
Turok
1.8
#1 would have been hilarious, actually, to pull up right there instead. Do that whole thing and then bam, Turok #1 Valiant. Yes, that would have been awesome.
That's it.
That is
that's
definitely a book to have.
Yeah.
That would be what you would call a grail book for certain.
Yeah.
There's no doubt there.
I mean, if you would have told me as a 9-year-old after watching that cartoon, after seeing that this was based off a comic, that I would someday own X-Men #1, there's no way I would have believed you.
Yeah, no.
Justin, is there a story to X-Men #1?
As to how I got this?
Yes.
No, there's a book.
eBay.
There's a story in between the pages, the covers.
All right, so here's the story, and I don't know if he's still watching, but if he is, I'm going to apologize before telling the story. So I started hanging out with Nick and Dustin of Two Brothers Comics in, I think early parts of 2020. I originally showed up on the channel to do an interview. They saw all the toys behind me. They thought that was awesome. They brought me back on another time just to talk about toys. And for whatever reason, they just keep inviting me back, and we hang out like every week. They knew that I was trying to put together an X-Men run. Dustin went to one of the shops in his area. No, I'm sorry. There's a shop a little bit outside of his area, but he went there because he knew that they had an X-Men 1, and he looked it over, and the story he tells is that he found it there and it was already graded, and it took him a while to decide if he was going to buy it for himself or let me know that it was there so that I could buy it. He eventually decided, I'm going to let Justin know he's going to appreciate this a lot more than I will. He's never going to sell that book. He's going to keep that book forever. So he put me in contact with the shop owner. I called him on the phone. I got it at a lower price than what they were originally asking for. And I'll talk prices here in a minute. I was like, oh man, I don't have that much cash on me right now, but if you let me do a layaway type thing, maybe we can make it work out. And he's like, well, what are you thinking? And I said, well, I can give you half now and half in a month. And he said, you know what? That's fine. Let's do that. And I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe that worked. I can't believe he agreed to that. So I paid $2,700.
Very nice. And for those of you playing along at home, the January 11th, 2022 Heritage Auction, last sold, listed according to Go Collect anyways, was 7,200. Before that, it was in that grade was November, it was 95. So it's come down a little bit, but still at $7,000. I think you've made a fair amount of margin. Not that you're going to turn around and sell it, but if you needed to, I'm sure that somebody would pay $7,000 for it in a heartbeat.
The cool thing is, Justin, I own ASM1 and I paid $2,700 for it too.
There you go. Well, we can just start
a
like
good number.
100 club or something.
Yeah, the 2,700 club. Yeah,
I can honestly say, with my wife in this room, I've never spent $2,700 on a comic.
So
yet.
Bite your tongue, Chris.
Yeah. So the funny part was, so I remember like $2,700 to spend on a comic is significant, right? Like that's
right,
a lot of money. So I remember like I was like, man, I need to have this conversation with my wife because I'm not comfortable spending that kind of money without her knowing about it beforehand. So
there's a mystery box, I swear.
So I remember talking to her, and I think the selling point was I asked her, I said, okay, if you were me, would you buy it? And she was like, no, I wouldn't buy it. I'm like, no. If you were me, would you buy it? And then she stopped and she was like, yes. And I was like, done, let's do it.
Green light.
No, I'm fully aware because if I'm ever going to complete my ASM run, there'll be a point where it happens. But
so, sadly, that's the next run I'm trying to put together.
May I recommend something like Spectacular or Web instead of Amazing? It's far less expensive.
I've already started. Like I've got a full run of ASM from 142 up. So
then go to 100. That's a nice stopping spot.
No, I can't. I gotta have a 66 and a 67. I love those Mysterio covers.
Yeah, no, they are great. And then once you get down below 100, it's all
Justin,
downhill from there.
For the people in the chat, but mostly for myself, can you read us what's on the label of X-Men #1?
I sure can. Origin and first appearance of the X-Men: Professor X, Cyclops, Iceman, Angel, Beast, and Marvel Girl, and Magneto.
Marvel Girl, I love
Marvel
it.
Girl, awesome.
Wow.
And, this copy it's beat to hell. I have no idea how it's a 1.8, but you know what? I'm going to take it. It's my one.
It's complete.
Yeah,
that's how it's complete.
It's got the blue label. That's all that matters to me.
It's complete. It's got a blue label. Yeah, those things happen, and that's fine. Yeah, definitely. It's a journey with ASM Shop. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not even a marathon. It's a journey. It's just a slow walk around the globe.
It's why I've slowed down tremendously. I'm not pulling them out all the time anymore. Is because I'm down to like a dozen issues left in my below 100 run, and of course, all but one issue is like below issue 20. So it's not exactly the cheap time.
My biggest problem with it is that because of what I do for my job as my career, I'm go to like 10 to 15 conventions a
And
year.
you just see them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it's like taking a kid to the toy store and telling him he can only have one, right?
Exactly.
Oh, Justin, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Appreciate you bringing those on here. Before we get into our next giveaway, though, I do want to recognize channel partnership, not a sponsorship, it's important, with the Rogue Trader, roguetraderutah.com, that if you're looking for any comic book pressing and you want to give him a shot, you can go to his website. You can get pre-discounted packages, and if you check out with the code FatStax, you get up to additional 20% off your pressing needs there. And through our partnership, each time that FatStax code is used, $10 is donated to the C3 Comics Curing Cancer campaign in association with the American Cancer Society. So if you're interested in that, check out roguetraderutah.com. And thank you to the Rogue Trader, who will be this coming up Tuesday's guest on Sidekicks Talk Comics when we talk about comic book pressing and such. So there you are, kind of a segue, if we will. So having said all that, let's bring into the stream here hashtag mutants, everybody. Go ahead and put that in there, and we're going to go ahead and give this do another set of giveaways here. And while we're doing that, as I already said, Monday, though, will be a mail call. Tuesday, Sidekicks Talk Comics, I'll have the Rogue Trader on. And then Thursday, there'll be, I think there's a slab unboxing that occurs on Thursday. And then Saturday, we'll be back here again for Slab Hub when we have John's Comics with Kids on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll want to make sure that you're here for that.
Sorry, John. Sorry.
There's a lot. I think he's got a few more than just X-Men books in his collection, though.
Oh,
I've seen.
good.
So,
Good. Thank you. Whew.
He does have some big books, but yeah, we all know he leans towards the mutants. But yeah,
you were lucky to sneak in there right ahead of him. Then
that was excellent timing on the schedule maker's part.
If you're
he didn't get his form back in time, apparently.
And speaking of which, if you're interested in becoming a guest on Slab Hub, whether you've been a guest in the past and want to come on again, or whether you've never been on and want to come on for your first time, just reach out to me via Instagram at robs.fatstax or via email at robs.fatstax@gmail.com, and we can talk about getting you on the schedule. Right now, we're scheduling from, I think it's end of July on, so no pressure. Don't worry, it's not even like a hard commit at this point when you're booking that far out. We're penciling people in, but it's good to have that interest list in case somebody can't make a show, where we have a reserve of individuals to call upon. Justin got that call at one point, but he declined and chose to stick with his current because he knew he had a shipment from CGC on its way back, which did arrive just before this, I saw, based on your IG posts.
Yes, and I needed X-Men 11. And
Yep.
so like that was the book that I was like, all right, let's do this.
Thank you very much. Yes, of course, hit the like button. Oh, and I have failed. I was not. I've apologized in advance. I did not prepare properly today. I did not have your IG. I will make sure I update your IG, Justin, in the description link down below. But if somebody wanted to follow you on IG, what's your handle there they should look for you at?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know. I think it's Justin_Birch_letters.
Yes, it is. Very
Yeah,
good.
okay. So full
There's a
disclosure,
test.
everyone, I'm way more active on Twitter than I am on Instagram.
I should find you on Twitter.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Justin Birch. I think that's it. Hold on.
I don't know. I just log in and I put things out, into the Musk sphere.
At Justin Birch.
I did want to ask you, Justin, in the next month or so, what books can we look from that you might be affiliated with?
Oh, that's a great question. So let's see here. Let me think. So the biggest book that I've worked on to date, I believe, should be coming out pretty soon. It's a series that you may have heard of. It's called House of Slaughter.
Wow.
So
awesome.
Check that out, especially starting with issue 6. This new story arc introducing new characters.
Oh, terrific. I am a huge Something is Killing the Children fan.
Thank you very much for posting that
Yeah,
up. We appreciate that.
I know the first arc wasn't as well received as the main series, but I really do believe that starting with issue 6, I think everyone's going to dig it.
I quietly enjoyed it. I'm not going to sit here and pan it just because I'm thoroughly enjoying that universe. But yeah, congratulations, man. Look, I can just reach over here and that's how much I enjoy Something's Killing the Children. But yeah. Okay,
That's
let's
right.
give away some books.
Or as you like to call it, something's killing the wallet, right?
Yeah, something killed the wallet, but yeah.
Well, all right, let's go ahead and spin our wheel. Wheel of fish. I always got to get that in at some point.
Of fish?
And our final. Oh, look at that, Joe! Anachronic Comics. Congratulations, sir. All right, let's go ahead and see what we can get for you. And these will be the comics that you can keep. Your mom will let you keep these, by the way, Joe. That's just a little plug for my man Joe. If you guys haven't seen Anachronic Comics, check him out. He had a series. I don't know if it's still going on, but I've seen it recently, if it hasn't ended, in various installments of the comics his mom let him keep. Joe, of course, grew up with comics in the Silver Age and had some beautiful, beautiful books that he's kept. All right, Chris.
No pressure.
How are you going to help out Joe today?
All right, let's see if we can find him some interesting titles, and at least titles that have been around for a little bit of time.
A new one dropped next week. There you go. Excellent. Thank you, Joe.
Okay. Justin, there was a question. Is House of Slaughter bigger than Snake Eyes?
I think that depends on who you ask. The reason you brought it up is because I've also lettered Snake Eyes Dead Game, the story that Rob Liefeld plotted. Did he plot? I know he did the art on it for sure.
Right.
He did a cover anyways.
He
Snake
did a cover
Eyes in the Fog with no feet.
I can't wait. We'll talk backstage for a little.
Okay. Rob, right where...
Yeah, he's got to be careful what he says publicly.
Okay. Rob, your left hand, stop moving your left hand, put it there, right where your thumb is, divvy it down into where your thumb is, and take the first, the one behind and the one in the front, and we'll start right there for Joe. All right. I'm trying to find books for Joe that have at least a 30-year run.
Okay, so I think you did pretty well. So this first book is courtesy of Man Cave Comics.
Ooh.
So he sent this book over for us. So, and here it is, Warlock number 9.
Wow, that book has some heat to it, though.
Indeed.
Wow, Joe, if you need my address, let me know. Okay.
Oh, why is there a price tag on this?
Is it one of mine?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
Convergence.
Oh,
number 1.
Wow.
There's a character that's kind of
Valzad.
Valzad. Nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Very important character. Okay, let's go 31 from the no. In honor of my son, then let's go 13 from the front. My son was born on Friday the 13th, believe it or not, and he's been bad ever since. No, I'm kidding.
4, 5, 6.
He's a good kid.
He's only murdered 12 people at a lake.
Right.
I like that. I feel like there's going to be a Justin rule that's applied here pretty soon.
Nothing above 14.
Star Wars 3D.
Never
so make sure you get your 3D glasses out and you can read Star Wars in 3 dimensions.
Wow. I've never seen that book before.
3D glasses not included.
This is the way Lucas will have it. Everything gets sold separately.
Exactly.
Let's go 13 from the opposite direction then. Chris, you're fine. Next week there'll be new co-host for Slab Hub.
12, 13. We'll replace him with Mad Spoity. All right. Oh, another nice one for you here, Joe. How about Strange Adventures.
Wow.
There you
Okay.
go.
Wooden World War. Strange.
So this is issue 225. So these Strange Adventures, it's so funny. They're actually reprints of the was it strange Mystery in Space, some
Okay.
of them, and some of these other stuff. So the ones that feature Adam Strange, they're reprints of Mystery in Space, but they're still fun, great books.
And
All right.
for the record, Joe does say he has a ton of 3D glasses. Okay, so
Good.
how many do we have to go, Rob?
2 more.
Okay, let's go back to front. Now.
In front or behind?
Behind.
Oh, really? You sure?
Pull them both then. Front and back. We'll wrap it up right here. Oh,
All right.
yes.
The one that Chris said, Bill and Ted's Most Triumphant Return. A book I figure is probably not Joe's wheelhouse, but hey, there you go. You got station on there, everything else.
Yeah.
Yes, your biplane never worked in space,
I'm
Austin?
sorry to hear that, Austin. You
Yeah.
need to check your warranty.
And here's one that I was so sure about. This one might be a little more in Joe's wheelhouse. Another book courtesy of Man Cave Comics. This actually is a first appearance in this book. How about Adventure Comics issue 327? Yeah! Yeah!
I
First
have the
appearance
keys
there
now. I have the
of Lone
keys.
Wolf of the Legionnaires.
That's awesome. I love those old Superman and Superboy covers. That's great. Well, Joe,
There you go.
Joe, I did pretty good.
Yeah. All right. Congratulations there. Joe, you'll have to ping me to let me know which house you're at. I think you're back in New York. But anyways, awesome, guys. Thank you again, Justin, very much for coming on out on the show. Much appreciated. Everyone in the audience, thank you for coming on out. We really appreciate you coming here and spending your Saturday afternoon with us every week, or at least when you're not doing other things that are more important. But hey, we appreciate you nonetheless. And for all you watching this on the rewind, thank you. Next week, again, John's Comics with Kids. And until then, guys, collect what you want. Don't listen to anybody, including myself, because as we've said, I'm just a fat man with a fat stack of comics and a fat opinion. Thanks for watching.